Of all the things we hold on to in life, the most corrosive are often the ones that are invisible to everyone else. Negativity doesn't always announce itself with a dramatic entrance. It seeps in quietly, it disguises itself as concern, as realism, as loyalty. It hides behind the faces of people who insist they only want the best for you, or behind the voice in your own head that whispers, "You're not ready, you're not enough, you'll never make it." And because it is subtle, because it doesn't always scream, we learn to live with it. We normalize it. We give it permission to stay. But the truth is, negativity in any form is not neutral. It is a silent tax on your energy, your confidence, and ultimately, your life. Think about the people around you. Not the obvious enemies, not the people who clearly don't support you, but the ones who keep you tethered with quiet doubts. The friend who smiles but always finds a way to remind you of the risks. The colleague who cloaks envy and faint praise. The family member who, under the guise of protecting you, convinces you to settle for less than you know you're capable of. These influences don't shout, they whisper. And whispers are far more dangerous, because you don't to notice them reshaping your decisions until you wake up years later wondering why you played so small. But it's not just about other people. The deeper challenge is recognizing the forms of negativity you have internalized. The self-comparisons, the endless measuring of your progress against someone else's highlight reel. The stories you tell yourself about why your timing is off, why your background isn't enough, why opportunities belong to others but not to you. These are not facts. They are inherited scripts passed down by culture, by family, by an anxious mind that mistakes survival for wisdom. Every time you obey them, you shrink a little more into a version of yourself that isn't fully alive. The quiet elimination of negativity requires discipline, not drama. It is not about announcing to the world that you're recutting people off or declaring a grand war against your own mind. It is subtler than that. It's about choosing silence over engagement when someone tries to feed you poison disguised as advice. It's about learning to let a thought pass without letting it become a belief. It's about curating your environment so that what you consume, whether it's conversations, media, or your own inner dialogue, nourishes your growth instead of sabotaging it. Philosophers have always wrestled with the idea that we are, to a large extent, the company we keep and the thoughts we entertain. Epictetus taught that it's not events themselves but our judgments about them that disturb us. Buddha spoke of the mind as a garden. What we water grows, what we neglect withers. Modern psychology echoes the same truth. Neural pathways strengthen with repetition, and what you allow repeatedly becomes what you expect automatically. Which means every time you accept a negative influence, you are reinforcing the very architecture that holds you back. There's also a subtle arrogance in holding on to negativity. We tell ourselves, "I can handle it," as if exposure won't leave a mark. But even the strongest stone erodes under the drip of water. Day after day, little comments, small doubts, internal criticisms, they wear down the edge of your ambition. By the time you notice, the erosion has already altered the shape of your life. To eliminate the negativity quietly is to reclaim authority over your atmosphere. You don't need to argue with every critic, external or internal. You don't need to defend your optimism, your ambition, your sense of possibility. You just need to refuse the invitation to absorb what diminishes you. Silence, distance, and redirection are often the most effective tools. Over time, as the voices of doubt fade, you will be surprised by the volume of your own clarity, how loudly your intuition speaks when it is no longer drowned out. And so the task is simple, though never easy. Identify the leaks in your energy, the subtle drains, the relationships and thoughts that leave you smaller than you arrived. Don't declare war on them. Don't broadcast your removal of them. Just begin the process of subtraction, quietly, consistently. Like a sculptor removing what doesn't belong to reveal the form that was always waiting inside. Negativity is not a weight you are destined to carry. It is a choice you make every day consciously or unconsciously. If you let it stay, it will build a home in you. If you remove it, you will finally have the space to build something worthy of your life. So let me leave you with this. Your future depends less on what you add and far more on what you refuse to tolerate. Remove the voices that weaken you, inside and out, and you'll discover that what remains is more powerful than you imagined.